Hi everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I am filming this to show on the 4th of July, so if everything goes as planned, you will be actually watching this then instead of today, which is the 3rd, but I want to wish you a happy 4th of July our Independence Day if you are in the United States. Today is a little tutorial for July journaling joy to make a folio band, I guess you'd call it. I had a request from Donna, and thank you, Donna, for the suggestion on showing how I did this. At least I think this is what you were referring to. If you have a folio, it does not come with an elastic closure, something like this Traveler's Notebook has, and you want that. This is just super duper easy, and I feel like it's a good thing to have as your journal gets more full and maybe more bulky. This isn't bulky now, but sometimes I like having something on there just to keep it contained so it doesn't get all maybe bent up in my basket where I keep most of my journals, things like that. And also it just adds a fun little touch. So putting this back on again, I had this on, I guess I made it this past winter, maybe even last spring or summer. I feel like the button goes fairly well with this folio. This is by Sojourner, by the way, and this is the Elon color in this Beck Brown designer cover, and I think it's called that because it's stitched with red and it's got the irregular cut pocket, which I enjoy. Anyway, this is all I had when I made this, or the only piece I had that was large enough to cover this. But the green is a little bit more bright than I prefer. So anyway, these are other ones I've had from other projects. I hang on to the elastic because I feel like it's a little bit hard to just find at the store, like the right size. This is a pretty tight weave, I guess, or construction manner, which I like. It reminds me of ponytail ties, so it's very secure and solid. I have a little bit skinnier of a band here, but I think I'm going to use that because I feel like that brown is a very close match to the speck brown. And I wanted to show you, oh, and then I have this left over from, I think, a Traveler's Notebook thing I bought. I honestly don't remember for sure where I got this one. Guess I don't really need to open it up, but I want to take a closer look at the quality of the elastic. So this is all also really sturdy, very durable, and you know, that could look good on there too. But I think I like this lighter brown, although it's much smaller in diameter, and I have no idea what they are. So I won't be very helpful if you ask me. I'm not sure how you measure that, but maybe that shows you better there. So this is thicker, would hold more sturdily, I think, but since I'm primarily using it as an ornamental thing, I think this will be enough. Now, as I say that though, I'm realizing this won't work. Unless if I just wanted to have a single band that I could pull off and on. Of course, I would doodad it up more than that. This actually could work, and I could just pull it off. That's not a bad thought, but for this kind of closure, you're going to need double, because as you can see, you just loop it and then go over your button or whatever item you choose to be your little knob thing. The other day I ordered from a company called Simpson Leather on Etsy because I was looking for some replacement elastic, and I felt like their prices were pretty reasonable. I want to show you without showing too much. Okay, that's my invoice. let's see, it was kind of cool. They put this thing in that I just noticed a little while ago. It shows you how to string your cover in a typical TN. So we're talking about restringing the the things that would hold your inserts. So like these that run the length on the inside. I bought these to redo one of my journals. I think it's my Big Faith journal that I use, or maybe my ink journal. So they put it on this paper, and here's the card in case you're interested in looking them up. I found them on Etsy, but it looks like there's a website. So I appreciated their quick service, and also they put a bobby pin in here that will help you needle, like to use as a needle and to go through the holes in your traveler's notebook. So there's detailed information there, but I don't need that right now, so I'm not using it for that purpose at the moment. I was going to, like I said, restring a TN, but I just haven't gotten to it. And I picked two colors because I wasn't sure if I wanted the brown or the green, and sometimes things look different on screen than they do in person. So I ordered this darker green. Forget what it's called. Let's see. I will look at my notes. The green is the army green, and the brown they're just calling brown, and it's a very nice deep brown, which I think may need to be the piece here. I'm trying to make heads or tails out of this. It's been so long since I've bought it. So there's enough to string, and there's enough to do your string from the back that wraps around, or if it comes out the back, and other style TNs. The original Midori style Traveler's Notebook, I think, comes that way. And then there's plenty of green for stringing another. So I got the two. They were like $4 each. But I think I want to use this since that other one I had. This one is going to be too tight. That's going to really mangle up the leather, so I don't want to put that on there. But let's just test this. And one thing I will say about this, it's a little bit looser. So the stretch is much more stretching, like, how do I describe that? There's a lot more give to it. You can see that, whereas, say on this, you have that same length, and you can stretch it, but it's a tighter feel. Like I just think it's stronger, maybe. But again, that is not going to matter in this case. So I pre-selected a couple possibilities. There's a clear button. This is off of one of my daughter's Ugg boots. They lost their decorative button, and I found it on the floor, and I think they had outgrown the boots, so I have that. And then this is a coin from Honduras. I think somebody gave to my daughter who was in Guatemala for a while. And then another green one. I really like the look of the coin. I have that on my journal here. This is the journal I use for notes for book club, and this has a single hole, obviously. I just like that look quite a bit. Polika39 on Instagram does a lot with coins and tokens, and I like that look, and that's where I first got that idea. But let's test this, because we are going to just make a basic little folio thing. Now this is probably going to be just right, possibly a little bit tight, but just for the sake of showing you, I'm going to point out that there's a couple different options, and I haven't tested to see if this will go through these holes. You can go through so that you're getting just a loop at the top of your button and a knot at the end, and you could put that on the opposite side. Well, you know what? No, you couldn't, because it's looped through. So let me just show you this again. I have it knotted here, but I think we could put it through and have it where the knot is tied. It would be like right here. So you still could disguise the knot if you don't like the look of the knot on there. Let's trim this up. This may be just a little bit too small, but I think if I get these little rough ends off, when you're done, you might want to take a lighter or a candle or a match or something and just burn the edges slightly to keep them from fraying. Sometimes I use fingernail polish too. And I fear, yeah, that is not going to work. Let's use the coin. In this case, I kind of like the idea of, I'm having a hard time today. Okay, I don't know that this is going to go through either. Drat and double drat. There we go. I just needed a nice fresh cut because that frays super quickly. Doesn't seem to want to go through the holes. These holes are put in with a drill. My husband did that for me. So I kind of like how this looks. You just see the coin. It can kind of flip. Whereas with this one, you're seeing the big knot. So I'm thinking maybe if I knot it at this end, this knot will kind of hide itself behind the coin when I loop it around my journal. You're going to want to make this nice and snug so it doesn't unravel. Come untied is what I mean. And again, treat the ends of your elastic. Let's just play with this a minute and see how that looks. The thing about this is because the holes are drilled more horizontally instead of vertically, the coin will be on here sideways. But I do like the look of that quite a bit. So I will just kind of tweak this a little bit and then come back and show you. But I think that works, and it honestly doesn't seem too tight. I was afraid it's a little bit tight here. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to need to mess around with that way I tied that to loosen that up just a little bit so I don't get so much tug. But the good thing about this being a looser constructed elastic, I think it actually will work pretty well. I think that looks good. I could switch out this button though and put that on there. What do you think of that? I feel like this brownish red button really matches the leather and the red stitching, and I might like that better. I'm going to switch that and I'll be right back. Okay, I got that fixed up here. I decided, like I was contemplating, to actually use the original button. I really like the color and how it goes with the leather here and the stitching. I will go back and glue this or put some nail polish on here just to keep this from unraveling any further, or maybe even use a craft glue or a fabric glue to keep that knot nice and secure. But I do like how the tying part is hidden behind the button. I think that gives a nice, neat, finished look. The other thing I did was to string that original lighter brown elastic through my Honduran coin, and then I just knotted it on the back. Again, I need to tighten this a little bit and sear the edges or something so it doesn't unravel. But this is another idea too. If you just have a smaller book, you like the look of this, or you want to keep it kind of closed, especially as you fill a journal. Some of these I use sort of as a scrapbook. Let me reach one up here beyond where I'm working. So for example, with this kind of book, this is a kind of a memory book, and it is just a insert. It doesn't have a closure. Let me see if that's tied. So something on a book like this that you've completed and you want to keep it closed, maybe things won't fall out if they're just paper clipped in or something, you might like to try a closure like this. You could do one like this where you loop it around, go around your book, and over the button, or you can just do a single strand. But these are really fun. They're a fun way to add some character, another dimension to your journaling. This would work on any kind of insert, any kind of folio. If you have a planner that's folio style that you carry with you, you might like putting a closure on it. So this is super easy. If you have buttons on hand, scrap pieces of elastic, you could use a stretchy lace. You could even do a ribbon kind of thing, or a cording if you want more of a tie-on thing like this where you could slide it on and off. That would work too, but I like the stretchy because for me it's real easy to just stretch it, put it off, put it on and take it off with minimal hassle. So to me, simple is always good. So anyway, there's your next idea. I hope this was fun and inspirational and get you thinking creatively. Sometimes I think the month of July, depending on if you're traveling or not, it can be one of those months in the summer where just kind of seems a little bit long. Now my kids are done with school and sometimes they just, I don't know. This gives you something to do, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Use those creative juices and have fun decorating your journals in a different way. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.